Hey, so happy to be here, guys. Have me on this morning. I pulled an all-nighter last night, and I'm just running on fumes right now. Actually, I don't even know where I am, but I'm glad to be here. DJ JT23.
All right, so let's see. You've been doing comedy for how long? Because I know you had schizo.
Well, since my whole life's pretty much been a joke,
Okay.
I've been doing it since I was born. No, I've been making videos since I was about 15 or 16 in high school. So I ended up at USC making comedy skits at SGTV here at the beautiful U of SC, and
Right.
then we got on Comedy Central, and then a bunch of other cool stuff happened.
No big deal, just Comedy Central, that's all.
So now I'm here,
Cool.
hanging out with you guys, having fun. We made this Click Clack Spurrier rap. It was like the predecessor to Rock Out with your Gamecock Out.
Right.
And the Click Clack rap was like the centerpiece of this episode. I had like thrown it together pretty much. I had some help, but like I was wearing myself out doing it, and I was advertising, hey, you got to watch my show. They're going to have the Click Clack Spurrier rap on it. And then that night when it premiered, the audio didn't play. So I was sitting in there in my room like, what?
Do you find like a certain type of people go for your comedy, or?
I would say I think sense of humor can be pretty expansive. Like you can learn to appreciate it. It's kind of like understanding art. Like some things you get. So I'd say I understand a lot of kinds of comedy and understand why that could be funny. But I'm really a fan of like Zach Galifianakis kind of comedy.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain what that would be, but I just get that. I'm a big fan of Tim and Eric. Like the kind of stuff that inspires me probably doesn't inspire the people who watch my stuff. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. The big thing is, at the end of the day, I never like intentionally try to be funny. I was just in a funny family, and I didn't ever think I was that funny, particularly growing up. So I guess there's an expectation of me to say something funny, which I will. But then I grew up playing sports, and I would like I was like the motivational speaker for the team. You would never know. I think it's important for people to stay inspired, but you can be funny and you can be serious at the same time. It's not like
I agree.
I'm sure like Will Ferrell and Zach Galifianakis and all these other funny people. I'm sure they're like great human beings. Maybe I don't know what they do in their free time, but they're not always like, "Hey, honey, I'm home from work. Can I kiss you?" Woo woo, and like doing like all these like stupid comedic things.
Yeah.
Like, but, at the end of the day, I make videos, but that's not who I am. It's just something fun, and it's important to be a good person.
Right.
Does that make sense? Is that endearing? Will someone say "aw" for me?
Oh.
Hey, wow, will you do it, please?
Oh, that's so sweet.
I'm blushing. Is my face turning red?
Because you also released a video at the end of last year. I guess it was part of your project about your sister.
Yeah. Well, I have a sister living with cerebral palsy and epilepsy, and she's a really big inspiration because if you just see the challenges in her life, it's really interesting to take in because she didn't choose any of them. That was the big thing that I had to realize when I was growing up. Like, my sister didn't ask for this stuff to happen, but the attitude she took with it was really inspiring. So I felt like I had to capture that. I feel like she has so much to offer the world that they need to see it. So ultimately, I'd love to make a longer documentary, but I think she's really funny and inspiring, and I know good things will come. It's just people are like, that's really great you did it, but I feel like if you were in my shoes, you would have done the same thing, or you would have felt obliged to do the same thing. So I don't feel like I'm doing anything. I feel like what I did was good, but anybody else would do it in my situation. And it was my last project of college, so that was to me that was the ultimate get out thing. My family all watched it at the big premiere, and people were crying. It's one of those videos. I wanted people to cry when they watched it, and a lot of people. I just talking to someone down the hall. They're like, "I saw that thing on your sister. I was just crying." And I was like, "I cried making it. If you must, I be honest." So
yeah, that's awesome.
Slide whistle.
So tell me a little bit about Dinobrite.
Well, we had been making the Rock Out video as a side project. That kind of took off on us, and Fabio failed 2 classes making it because he was working so hard. It was like, but luckily one of the classes he failed was for writing a business plan. So the next semester
He had to retake it.
He had to retake it. So he got to pitch Dinobrite to the class. So some people helped him write a business plan for it. During that time, people had been approaching us to make videos professionally because they liked that video. And USC actually came and talked to us about making their $1 billion campaign video and some other videos. So we were really on board. And it was kind of serendipitous. Everything just came together. Fabio wrote the business plan for Dinobrite. USC, we weren't an LLC at the time. That's legal. I won't get into the legal jargon, but
Right.
Dinobrite was an official business at the time. So they hired us for a year's contract to produce some videos, including the $1 billion capital campaign. And then what happened? Someone in Fabio's group told him about the business incubator at USC. So we applied to that, got in, and got a free office for 2 years, which was, like I said, this is all really serendipitous kind of stuff.
Right.
Worked out great. Then what happened? So we started making a lot of videos for USC, which they're a lot more professional and
Right.
serious. And then since then, we've had other clients come on and help us out. And so we've made a mix of like more professional and I guess serious videos, but we've learned a lot of techniques and skills that will help
Definitely,
us hopefully make a movie or a TV show one day. And we've had a lot of fun, and I really appreciate the fact that USC and ourselves could see eye to eye at the end of the day.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, it was a big controversy. Like, you guys are trying to tarnish school. No, we're not, blah, blah, blah. And we all talked, and it's like, well, you know what? I think you could really help the school. It was just a really positive thing at the end, so
Right.
I'm just glad it ended up that way, and I think they're glad it ended up that way. So I owe a lot of success to USC.
Special effects.
This was cool because we actually had a budget. This got to showcase what we had
Uh-huh.
when we're working with a budget. So we got to contract this guy to Charlotte who worked for ESPN, and we got to get an NFL Films voiceover and get this guy to get helicopter shots. So it was like it was kind of like a mini movie. What it really was. That's what we wanted to make USC people be like, whoa, yeah, I love USC. What happened? They aired a minute-long version at the Florida game, which was exciting.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to see it because there were some problems with the projector at the actual like gala event where they showed it. So I was up for like 40 hours straight just trying to get this thing to work. The video was done. We were just trying to get things to work. And then it was my mom's surprise birthday party that day too. So I hadn't slept, and I was like, I'm just going to drive home. So I don't normally drink Red Bull, but I drank like four of them and a coffee, and I was just blasting music. I was like, yeah, gotta make it home. Happy birthday, Mom. And like, I was just cracked out. It was really bad. But.
Well, let's take a little break, and then if you're cool with staying a little bit longer, and then we'll talk about the Ryan Gosling video, and then we'll also see what you're up to in the future.
I actually got to go. I'm getting a mani-pedi real quick. So how long did that take? It takes like 3 hours.
Can I go with you?
Oh, you can actually. Yeah, I got one for you, AWOWW. And
Bye, Paul.
I think Pauly
I'll
C.
stay up
See you
here and
later.
just mix some music or something.
Is that cool? Okay, well, AWOWW and I are leaving the show. Actually,
Thanks for listening,
we'll be
guys.
back after the break. Hey, call into the station and ask us fun questions, and we'll answer them.
Yeah.
DJ JT23.
Keep listening. This is Pauly C and AWOWW show here on WUSC.